Hey, this is Trail Testers. We've come up here today on top of the Welsh Mountains, where it is rather windy as you can probably see, to try out the Hilleberg Akto one-person backpacking tent. This tent is really very small, as you can probably see, and it only weighs 1.5 kilos. So, I'm going to put the tent up, we'll see how we get on. Bear in mind, it is a very windy day up here today. The tent is one of these that goes up fly and inner together. I think it's called an exoskeletal tent. So unless it's got very wet at some point, you always have the inner and the outer joined together. And this makes it much easier to pitch in British weather, when often you're having to fight against the rain and the wind. There's a good strong aluminium pole with this tent. You don't have to contend with fiberglass poles that could break easily. This is a good strong pole from Hilleberg. The tent also comes with these lightweight pegs. Put these in my pocket so they don't blow away. Each corner of the tent has fiberglass poles on it. So this keeps the ends high up so your head and your feet are not touching. It's a rather clever idea. And it's important to peg this tent out into the wind. So the back of the tent in this case will always go into the wind. I'm going to peg out the four corners of the inner first. It's a bit rocky up here. The pegs also come with retainers, so they're easy to pull out again. Now the pole goes in from the front. I'm going to turn my back on you for a minute. Goes in here into this sleeve. There's a good stout canvas end where you put your pole. And the tent at this end goes into a plastic cup. The pole into a plastic cup. There we are. This tent goes up very quickly. And here we can just open the door, ready to go inside. Once you close the tent down, it's quite roomy for one person. You've got your porch, which is like a V shape at the front. So you can put gear on one side. You can see I've got all my cooking equipment here. The Hilleberg Akto is a really good tent if you're backpacking on your own. It's compact, it's light, it's very easy to put up, very quick to put up. As you can see, it goes up in strong winds without any problem at all. And once you've got it up, you feel you've got a really secure fortress here. The inner door of the tent rolls away nice and easily, and you can snug it back without any problem at all. So you've got a nice big door here to sit in the tent with the front door open and to cook here in the porch, so you've got a natural windbreak built in. This side, where the door rolls away, the fitting for the door is right at the end, so it's very difficult to keep that rolled back. When we were first testing the tent, we were always finding a problem with this doing what you can see it doing now. There is sitting headroom here in the tent. I'm very tall, I'm 6'3". I did wonder if I'd have a few problems with this tent, but it's plenty big enough for me. I can sit up inside without my head touching the top of the tent. That goes for the outer tent and the inner tent. And also, there's plenty of sleeping room. I think someone 6'6" tall could sleep in here without any problem at all. The inner tent has a good deep bathtub ground sheet, and it has a good hydrostatic head as well. The door of the tent has no seam mesh in here, and it has a flap that can be closed to keep the tent nice and warm. But for most of the time I keep this open when I'm sleeping. At each end of the tent there's an eyebrow shaped vent which you open with a zip, and that reveals the inner material. And the inner material of this tent is a special ripstop nylon that breathes. So it doesn't matter if your breath is exhaling against the tent, against the inner, the water moisture vapor is wanting to get outside, is wanting to leave the inner tent and get out to the outer tent, and then eventually to get outside to the outdoors, leaving the tent nice and dry. As you can see, it's pretty windy up here on the hill, but by putting the back of the tent into the wind, it means that the porch stays pretty wind-free. Right, it looks like my tea's ready. This is Trail Testers. Goodbye.